The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Horrible Gamers podcast, episode 512. Where are we? Are we in February 23rd, 2026? Welcome, my name is Gunny Chief, and I'm here today with the Mayo. What's up, Mayo? How are you?
Hey, Gunny, how's it going?
Doing pretty good. Jesus couldn't make it tonight. He got his car wrecked, man. But we were just on a call with him, and he's fine. He loves everybody. He's great. Everything's okay. So a lot of BS to deal with. So you could probably talk about it more next week. But glad you're okay, Jesus. We love you too, brother. But anyway, guys, over to X, formerly known as Twitter. Follow us at _horrible gamers. Leave us a review on the old iStore. And follow us on Spotify, or you can give us 5 stars. You can comment over on the Spotify. I've been using Spotify a lot more as my primary podcasting app, even though I've been using YouTube for my music, but Spotify is my thing for most things podcasts. We also have a Facebook group. You can go over there as well at the Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. That's facebook.com/groups/Horrible Gamers, as well as also on Discord as well, which I don't see here anymore. What's up? We still got our Discord. We're still in it, man. So go follow us on there as well. And redbubble.com. We still have our merch up on the Redbubbles. Just search for Horrible Gamers on there.
Yeah, look, maybe see if we can add some new merch in there. We gotta figure some new stuff out in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, did Jesus choose that at first or whatever with the block and the stickers and the shower curtain? I don't remember. Even though I got a couple mugs here I use for my morning coffee. So, yeah, we probably could add some more stuff. We should just do like a refresh for spring.
Yeah. Add
some more things besides our shirts and hoodies and stuff. So we got a lot of merch in there. Go check us out. Redbubble. But anyway, man, let's get to talking about our video games here that we've been playing. And so, yeah, I'll start off here with, first of all, I know I spoke about it last week. Let's see. And that is the Death Stranding 2. So I was pretty close last week after last week's podcast. And so it didn't take long, maybe I would say maybe less than 2 hours. I was already at the rolling Death Stranding 2. And, I'll say that pretty much everything Jesus said, as far as like spoiling all the ending stuff. And I thought it was really good. A lot of long cutscenes that I thoroughly enjoyed watching all the way to the end. Super well done. Hideo Kojima is amazing. That guitar battle that you have with Higgs at the end, it was a bit absurd. Like, it just consisted of you like taking the guitar and like, I was thinking it was just going to shoot out fucking laser beam, which it does, but it was like just you bashing Higgs over the head with that thing like 1,000 times, because you got to battle him a couple different times, and so that was a bit ridiculous, man. But I mean, either way, it wasn't bad or anything. So yeah, that was cool. And you get a lot of story ending stuff. After that, when you meet up with everybody back on the ship, and like everybody, they're just, I think, what's the captain's name? I forgot his name, but like he's explaining a lot of stuff. And there's another thing that I think Jesus didn't spoil, and I'm not going to spoil it as well. Let's just say everybody didn't survive. So, yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. And it was cool, I think, with Tomorrow, who's the blonde chick in there, and and of course, she's even saying like, I'm your Lou or Louise or whatever. Like, we kind of knew towards the end, that that's who Lou is and how time is different in the underworld, or is that what they actually call it? But so time obviously goes faster, because she's obviously older, she's not a baby anymore. That was just really, yeah, it was an excellent game. So totally recommend it.
I need to download the demo off a PlayStation because I have like access to like the first 2 hours or something like that. I keep telling myself I need to get that demo and play it and see if I like it or not.
I'll say this to anybody who's thinking about like, hey, I want to play this or what have you. So I always feel like there's two parts. Well, I think of it like there's two parts to the game as far as like, all your story stuff. And then there's the part of you making deliveries and activating the different facilities, through the chiral network and fighting BTs and stuff. So, but I'll say this to any new person that's like, hey, I want to keep it under whatever, 30 hours or however long it took me. It guides you to the next facility. So for example, okay, you'll start off, I think you start in Mexico. You're not there for very long. And then you go to Australia, right? That's when you go through the gate or what have you. And that's where most of the story takes place. So really it's telling you like, yeah, you got to go to this place and, and talk to these people, whatever. You're just activating most things, right? Most things in that story. I feel like you can make the game linear, Mayo. Like, go here. All right, I'll go there. You don't have to start building roads and mining for resources. You could, if that's what you choose, right? Like, I mean, you could definitely make the game 100 plus hours if you choose to, but I just followed the linear path. And, and when you do those things, right? When you go and let's say you activate one of the facilities or whatever, a location, like you're unlocking better guns or equipment or whatever through that process. So yeah, you might have a better machine gun or a better fucking rocket launcher or whatever. So it's giving you those incentives and you have to do it, right, to progress the story. So yeah, you don't have to veer off and whatever and collect stuff and do all these other little side missions. I did a few. I don't know, maybe 7 to 10 different little side things, right? Like, bringing things from one facility to the next. And I was like, okay, I really want to progress the story. So kind of back on track, just follow the main campaign. I feel like it's a great experience. So the only thing I even did after the credits rolled was I had like one main active fucking thing of deliver these fucking nuts and bolts to this facility. Yeah, okay, all right, I did that. Got in my vehicle and went over there and delivered it. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with this game. Like I had really no desire to go build any roads or or anything. So, but you could just kind of stay in that world if you chose to. So, but yeah, Death Stranding 2, man, great game and highly recommend it. So, definitely playing that obviously on the PlayStation 5, which is the only place it's available. So, good stuff. And in the meantime, Mayo, I didn't mean to do it, but I broke my headphones, which what I was using they were not official PlayStation. Yeah, it was back when we first started the podcast, whatever I had, I tossed them out, but they were like some $200, $175 I paid for those things. And it came with a mixer, not a mixer, but like a, equalizer. And, I paid a good chunk of change for those things, but they were the big, giant, bulky ones, which I hated wearing during the summer. So,
especially it gets all sweaty and.
Oh man, it was didn't much care for them. So, so I didn't use them very often. So, but since I'm now like in this I call it the gaming room, and I'm using that OLED monitor, right? It's not like it's plugged into a TV, and I noticed, Mayo, like with the PlayStation 5, my monitor doesn't always recognize it, so I have to keep pulling the USB cable out and plugging it back in for some reason. So to get it to
weird.
Yeah, it's been fine, but now even if you plug it in, it'll say, "Do you want to switch to this new device?" And I'll say yes, and it doesn't work. So I have to already turn it on, and then it'll say something's there, but it doesn't recognize it, and I have to unplug it, plug it back in, switch over to the HDMI 1 or 2 or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe some better update to either the PlayStation or the freaking monitor itself. Yeah, some reason it doesn't show it on there. But once it's plugged in, I haven't been playing it like in the stretched format or whatever. I've just been playing it in whatever it is, the 14 by 3 or whatever it is. So just based on recommendations, you know.
By 9, right?
Is it 16 by 9? I'm going to check right now to see what it is.
That's just widescreen.
Yeah. Let me see if I go to just here real quick. No, maybe it's picture. Or oh, here we go. The aspect ratio. Well, it doesn't show, right? So I did change it to where it says just scan instead of full wide or original. So yeah. Yeah, maybe I need to adjust something on the PlayStation 5 setting itself, so that it does, like, without having to plug everything back in. It should just automatically do it. So but yeah, I can't decide, like, if I want to get shit, what game am I thinking of now? Another game I was going to get on PlayStation. Metal Gear Solid, the remaster. I can't decide if I want to get that on PlayStation or through Steam itself. So I think either way, like, I know the Steam version is going to be, I can probably get more frames out of it or whatever. So can't decide. I kind of missed the sale though, because I was working over the weekend, so I was like, yeah, it's probably not on sale anymore. So I'll probably double check after the show. So, but yeah, other than that, me and you, May. Well, me, I've been playing throughout the week, and then we played again today. Path of Exile 2. As I soon as I got home, I saw you were on it. And, and I was like,
I was only on for a couple minutes.
Yeah, and I saw you pop on. I was like, I'm gonna jump in, kind of see where I'm at, and then you jump in. So wherever we're at, I'm at the last. I probably have 2 more bosses left, and then that's the actual end game itself, or I either have just kind of one main boss left. So I don't know if you remember. Yeah. So that's, I thought I was at the end boss a while ago, but like I said, Mayo, even though, like, you can look at my stats with being level 64 with, my armor and what else am I thinking of? Like, like, not the block, but whatever, my energy shield and all that good stuff. But, like, I think through different means of whatever the rings I'm wearing and my abilities and and of course I've been upgrading those as much as possible through my lightning damage and cold damage or whatever. So I've been able to really kick these bosses right in the ass. So without any help. So I think you'd be surprised. You're like, God damn, usually I have to. Yeah, there was one boss a few weeks ago, like a couple weeks ago, where I was like, I'm kind of stuck, man. So no way I can actually beat this boss. But I found, Mayo, it's like kind of like what Ryan used to say, just kind of walk away, go do something, whatever, make a sandwich, take a couple deep breaths, come back, and then boom, like,
right.
Then I'm able to, get in there and maybe also just kind of reconfigure, like, get a better armor piece or something or whatever it could be. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. So that's the druid that you're using with the cold damage as well? Because we were just freezing the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, that's my old witch character from the last season that we played. And so, because you're in like a non-season with your character, so I can use that witch. And so she is like level, I don't want to say high 60s, maybe 70s. I don't remember now for sure. But yeah, she's up there. But yeah, she's really, really strong, really good build. That freeze build is crazy because it freezes everything. It keeps it still, and it just covers the whole entire screen. So you're just killing everything as you're walking around. It's pretty simple point and click.
Yeah, I mean, you were covering the whole screen with the fucking like ice clouds, and then you had the fucking ice mountains popping up everywhere. It was kind
Yeah, those
of
things
like
are
the
crazy.
craziness on the screen.
You build this wall of like ice shards that come up out of the ground, and then when you hit them with your ice that you shoot, they explode and do like magnified damage, and so it just crazy damage.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing where I feel like it has no effect on bosses, but everybody else it does is where I've got my ice evade. So I press that and then I flip backwards or flip forwards, whatever direction you're facing, and it gets them once. And, you can do this multiple times. And then I always tend to run back with a lot of these little trash mobs, whatever. And I'll do it twice, and then I try to make sure I'm within that section, and then it goes boom, boom, right, and then that'll just do a ton of damage the second time as well. So, plus I'm shooting them with ice, and so the other thing is I have activated, right. I feel like it's just kind of my own build in a sense where I've got the whole damage going. I've got the Herald. I was going to use Herald of Ice, but I haven't, only because on the Max Roll website or whatever, it just talks about using your thunder, right? Your lightning. So it's like, yeah, I'll keep my Herald of Lightning on. I was trying to use something else. I was using Mirage for a little bit, and I don't know. I didn't like it. I just didn't like the Mirage because then I had to sacrifice something, right? So whether it was two other spirit of abilities or whatever. So I kind of just went back to the other two, I think. And then I think I've kind of settled on Herald of Thunder, and then I've got something else that supports like more evasion or something. And then I think since yesterday went back to Herald of Blood. So, and that'll do a lot of bleeding to enemies. So, you'll kind of get that, where you can just see them. Yeah, where I feel like hopefully that Herald of Blood is like also the support pin that I use for the Herald of Blood. I'm also in like some of the armor break as well, because whether it's my freeze or my poison or whatever. So I've just been doing a lot of experimenting, obviously. Along with the trying to keep true to the build.
I think it's some of the fun sometimes where you can like experiment with a build and just kind of mix a couple abilities up and see how it works. So it keeps the game kind of going.
Yeah, I have not heard of anybody from whatever headpiece I have, the armor, or is it it could be the amulet. Maybe it's the amulet that I'm wearing that gives me that extra 32 in spirit. So I always make sure I've got 3 different spirits, like 3 different things going. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody using that, but because I figure like this is the way I'm looking at it. Like, okay, I'm only going to use 2 to 3 different action skills, if that's what they're called, right? One's going to be my, my freeze shots or whatever, and then I'm going to use poison, right? And or I could use fire, right? Whatever element, right, that I use. So really, I try to keep it down to the 2, right, which is going to be my freeze and poison. And I'm not going to really. I know that I could probably use grenades and all these different other, cannons and whatever. So thought, no, I'm going to go ahead and just keep the main 2. And then I'm going to use 3 different spirit abilities. So, yeah, I even tried today, Mayo, like the other day. This is the second time I've tried it where, what did I try and use? It wasn't the Mirage. It was something else where it kept saying, like, you don't have an active skill or something. I had the spirit, but it says you don't have the active something or rather. And I just tried putting in different support pins, and I don't know. And it kept saying, like, you don't have enough spirit. Like, couldn't make heads or tails of it. I don't know. I went to Reddit. I Googled it. I could not figure that shit out to save my life. So, but it was part of the Ranger class. So I don't know. It said it supports those. So maybe I'll actually get on one of these days and I'll pull that up, and then you can take a look and see what the hell I'm doing wrong on that. So, yeah, I totally forgot what skill it was or whatever, what spirit gem thing it was. So, yeah, so for some reason it should have worked, and I don't think it was glitched out. I think I'm just doing something wrong. So, um, anyway, but
Yeah,
that was
sometimes you have
frustrating.
like
So then
certain like conditions to be met for it to be able to turn on. So maybe there's
I
something
think
that's
that's
not.
what it was. There was something that was part of my armor or rings, or there was something, right, that was preventing me from using that. So I just don't know what the hell it was. So yeah, I don't know. I had enough spirit, just couldn't actually do it. So but yeah, other than that, just really mainly those two games as well. What how have you been playing?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I play just a little bit of Path of Exile, and still just kind of the same old, same old. I've been playing a little bit of Uncharted. That game is still, fun, but I haven't gotten past the point of where I was at before. So I just got done doing the part. I don't know if you've ever played any of these, Gunny, but I just got done doing the part where you finally uh, you break out of the prison, and then it's like a flashback you're playing, right? And then it goes like 2 later, something like you think your brother's dead, and then you're like doing this deep sea diving mission thing, and you're finding this thing for somebody, and you basically kind of come around, find out your brother is still alive, and so you're like talking and visiting with him and stuff, and that's where I turned off. That's about where I was at last time, so I'm not sure, what I'll get into after this, but I haven't had a whole bunch of time to play, so like I've been kind of busy just kind of 3D printing here and there, and then like between that and work and just kind of all over the place here the last couple of days, especially. So, um, trying to think what else. A little bit of Grand Trail again. It's something I can just fire up real quick. Not put a whole lot of time into because of work and just not having much time in the evenings. So it's something just a quick half hour, 45 minutes, get in, get out kind of thing.
Yeah.
I also I did a couple random little side quests on Ghost of Tsushima, or not Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotai. Hunting some different things down to some, different armor sets and stuff like that. They're kind of fun to get, where you can get like these legend sets, and so like going and try and solve those and figuring those out is fun. But I mean that's pretty much it. I gotta figure out something I want to get back into. Like I said, I said this last week too. I was like, what single player game do I want to get into, or I'm looking for something that's gonna like suck me in, and nothing has here recently. So I just kind of keep bouncing around a little bit until I find something that really sticks.
Yeah. A lot of good single player stuff out there, and different little things on Steam. But it sounds like PlayStation's really kind of grabbed us, lately. Like, well, for you definitely, and me more
Yeah,
lately.
for sure.
Trying to keep me in there. So, yeah, which is all really good stuff. But oh, as far as Uncharted goes, I think I played. Ah, man, it might have even been. Did I play a little bit back on the PlayStation 3? I think even that multiplayer thing was out there on PlayStation 3. And
Okay.
I don't think I ever trying to think if I played any of the Uncharted on PlayStation. I don't remember if I ever did. Yeah, I don't remember even though when maybe on PlayStation 4 when I did subscribe to the PlayStation Plus for just the short amount of time. Yeah, I might have played like some of the classic gameplay on there, but and funny enough, I never saw that movie with Mark Wahlberg and
Oh,
whoever else
I
was in
didn't
it.
like it. I thought it was okay, but I wasn't a big fan. It was too far fetched for my liking. Like I don't know, like you some movies you just expect it to be kind of crazy and over the top, but just
Yeah.
some of the scenes they did, like one of the early ones, like one of the first scenes without giving anything away, Gunny is like they're on an airplane, right, and then they dump the cargo, and he's as they're falling through the air, he's jumping from like cargo to cargo.
Yeah, I saw like the video or the thing on YouTube with
like, oh, come
that
on.
silliness. But that's video game logic, right? Or I don't know how that
Right.
transpires to a movie.
But
Yeah,
but and it was different having Mark Wahlberg in it, and stuff. But
yeah, I always look at those. Like, for example, I don't like I'll see that. I'll see like I remember when the Tomb Raider movie came out, and it's like I always look at it like I'd rather just play the fucking video game. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll see it when it's cheap or comes to Netflix, but I'm not gonna go see those movies. Yeah. Since I don't watch a lot of movies, I try to most of my time I try to spend mostly on video games themselves rather than trying to watch those things, But anyway, so maybe one day I'll get into the. Every time I look at PlayStation Plus, I'm like, you know what? Even if I do subscribe, I'm gonna have enough time, or is it gonna be worth it? So,
right.
But I feel the same way about Xbox Game Pass, where I'm like, man, am I playing enough games, to justify the price or whatever with these subscriptions? But yeah, I guess I'm always worried about like, what if I unsubscribe and then there's something that really comes and I got to resubscribe, like something I really, really want to play. So since it always seems to be the surprise with, these third-party games. So, matter of fact, let me look at my game. Have I even played any of these Game Pass games here real quick? I'll just double check here. Oh, I did play Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. So I played about the first hour, but I think that's the second time I've done it. The first time was a demo on Steam, probably, and then now I can play the full game on Xbox Game Pass. So I did like the first hour.
Do all those games play the same? Because I played a demo in one of them one game time, and I didn't care for it. I don't know if they all played the same or not. Do you
Whatever
know?
one they came out with, I think it was a remaster on Xbox, on the console itself, just kind of going back from memory. I found it to be difficult. Like, it was more a lot of blocking and and sidestepping. I feel like I can't think of the name of the title that was actually on the console itself. But I think this one, I think the reason I might play more of this one, the one in Hawaii, is from what I understand, it's not as difficult or whatever. It's not a lot of serious, like you have to block at the right time, and you can't put in as many hits. Where I feel like the other ones, just going off of based on experience, where those were definitely more linear, and you're fighting one or three enemies or whatever. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna play this one definitely a lot more, so keep that subscription going. Other than that, no, I haven't played like Moonlighter or the Outer Worlds 2, and everything's still installed. And I think the only thing they've added Avatar Frontiers Pandora. So I played a good chunk of that. I think I actually own that on console. So I think that's more open world as well.
Yeah, I remember when you guys got the game. I remember you guys enjoying it. You guys were saying it was a really good game.
Yeah, I just kind of fell off of it. Like, I think early on there's that mission of, hey, get to this location in this short amount of time, and it was a lot of fucking just climbing and trying to find your way down the mountain. It was just, God, it was like, I don't know, that was just a painful mission for some reason. Like, I really hope I don't have to do this more. But that was before, like, you can jump higher or fly. I don't fucking, before you get wings. I don't remember. So, I think maybe once you get past that part and level up or something, but man, it's like just dreading having to go do that one again. But that was like in the first 2 hours of the game. So, but
gotcha.
Yeah, I guess I'd recommend it. It's pretty. It's Avatar. They did a great job with the art style and stuff. Next one I'm probably going to play on there is that TCG Card Shop Simulator. That one's more like you own a card shop. It's more Pokemon. Yeah, it looks cool. I watched Vengeful Jedi play. It looks pretty neat. You can upgrade your shop and and expand it and everything. So yeah, that'll be my next game on there.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, like Jesus is not here to talk about Battlefield. Sorry, guys, no Battlefield talk.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. What else? We'll just kind of get into some news, Mayo. It's news time. Let's do it.
Beep, 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 beep. News time.
All right,
as Gunny would say.
What's going on here in the news? What's going on with Microsoft? What's happening over there? What happened to my buddy Phil Spencer? Oh man, and Sarah Vaughn, right? So she's gone too. So I'm going to read this latest article here from The Verge. So, let's see if it'll actually. Maybe I can't because it's probably locked. But let's see. Maybe can it let me in there? All right, I'm going to try and go off of memory here with this Xbox stuff. But as we know, Phil Spencer has left, has retired, and
you think he's retired?
along with, that I know, right? I'm definitely seeing like those different articles about he was pushed out or he was fired, whatever. But no, I'm pretty sure he announced his retirement. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think he was pushed out or nothing, but do you think he's actually just going to be done and retired, or do you think he's going to go on and do something else somewhere with some other company?
I think he'll definitely go to another company. What is he, like 50, 55 or something? Like too young, right? He's too young, I think, even at that age to not go work for somebody else. And yeah, we'll definitely see like where we saw like what's his name? The guy who retired from Xbox or whatever. His name's escaped me. But yeah, I mean, he went to work for a company, then he got laid off. Now he works for somebody else, and he's well over 60. So yeah, I don't think Phil's done, man.
Yeah, I think we'll hear an article and popping up somewhere else.
Yeah, so let's see what Sarah Ball has said after breaking her silence after her exit news. So, it says here, the Xbox president and CEO, Sarah Bond, has spoken for the first time since Friday's news that she's leaving Microsoft along with Phil Spencer. Asha Sharma, who was previously head of Core AI at Microsoft, was named as the company's new head of gaming in a surprise announcement on Friday, replacing 35-year company veteran Phil Spencer. Bond's departure from Microsoft was equally unexpected. The executive joined Microsoft in 2017, overseeing game business partnerships. In 2023, she was promoted to the president of Xbox, reported directly to Phil Spencer. Writing on her LinkedIn, Bond said she's decided now is the right time for me to take a step back, both personally and professionally, and share praise for the incoming CEO, Sharma. I know there's a lot of news to take in today, Bond wrote. I'm incredibly proud of what we built together over the last 8 years plus. PC and cloud gaming are growing faster than ever. Our next console is well underway. And together we've helped lay the foundation for a more open gaming platform that spans devices and reaches players around the world. Let's see. It says when we announced our intentions to acquire Activision Blizzard in 2022, I committed to helping lead the Xbox through a critical period of change. Over the last 4 years, we've navigated that moment together and positioned the business for what comes next. We took some of the biggest challenges this organization has ever faced and did it as a team. Of course, it goes on here, but yeah, I don't know. I was listening or watching a clip today, Mayo, of, and I saw him throughout Twitter, X, and Facebook and whatever. And Dustin Legary, who's kind of independent now and just kind of has his own little channel. And he was talking about, all these news outlets were talking about, I guess the whole play anywhere, everywhere thing was Sarah Bond's idea and how the internal team was not happy about it. yeah, that I don't know. I guess there was friction there, with her whatever her vision for Xbox forward. So again, all inside stuff. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think, man? Do you think this Xbox is really dead, or I mean, is this just what? Are we getting a new console like she said, or hard to say, right?
I
For
don't think
me
that
to,
would
yeah,
change, right? I think they would still kind of keep going forward with whatever they have planned, regardless of who's running it. They're not going to scrap their development or whatever they have going on already.
yeah,
Um, I think it'd be just more of a taking over the reins kind of thing. But yeah, so I think they're still probably making something, but we'll see how it is, and we'll just see how
yeah,
somebody that's now running Xbox. We'll see how they do. Maybe they'll do really good. So
right.
you
I think
never know.
also like I remember correctly too from Friday. So you've got Sharma as whatever head of Xbox or president or what they want to call it. So I think Matt Booty has taken over whose spot? So he's taken Sarah Bond's position. Is that what I remember from Friday? I believe so. So he took up from he was with Game Pass or something, right? In charge of Game Pass. So then he's kind of moved up.
Okay.
So I don't know who took his position. So at least he's still there doing his thing, and yeah, with Xbox. And but I don't know. I heard a lot of just flack and about Sharma's not a gamer or whatever. Like she just got an Xbox, by the way, or something. Like she's only got 10,000 gamer score, and I don't know it. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to be the one out there to say that whatever she's a female, she can't run this gaming company, or she doesn't play video games. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna give it a shot. See how it plays out. I don't think she's gonna come in and change everything back to exclusive or anything. But whatever, she's got to report back to the big heads at fucking Microsoft and follow the rules, man. And see how this plays out.
Right.
One other thing I do want to add, Mail, like something that I'm always thinking about, like when it comes to the next console from Xbox or whatever. Like I know I'm a little wishy-washy on it about they're not going to make another Xbox. It's going to be a third-party bullshit, but and memory's too expensive and this and that. But I always think about like, okay, whether it's Sony or Xbox or Steam or whatever, I always think about they probably don't give a fuck how expensive things are, I don't know if they really, really consider that, when they think, oh, how do we get these? They're so pricey and we got to pass that along to consumer, like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to let that stop them, from developing the next console or announcing the next console,
Yeah.
whether that thing is, 800 or $1,000, right? Like that's just how things are, right? And they're just going to announce that shit and people are going to buy it or they're not going to buy it, right? That's just, I could be wrong on that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just still so interesting, like with the RAM prices. Like, and what happens if they announce a console, right, and then the RAM changes? It's like, and what if the RAM drops a lot? Would they have a price drop? Like, because then what do you do?
Good
Like,
question.
because say you have the
Yeah, that would
console
be
for like
interesting.
6 months. Could you imagine how salty people would be if they bought a console and then 6 months later they had a price drop? Like a significant
Yeah,
drop. You'd be like, what the heck?
that's true, right? Well, because if I remember correctly, when they first announced like what they're doing with memory specifically, like whoever these memory companies are, like there's only like what two of them or something that kind of make the primary memory, right? Outside of like China just making their junk, but and then they were reporting like, hey, it's going to be 16, 18 months of these extremely high prices, and and of course we are seeing it now where Steam Deck OLED is intermittently out of stock. I think even I saw an article where Nvidia was gonna not freaking produce 5090s or some crazy shit, right? In 2027 or whatever they've seems a bit extreme, right? That I guess maybe they know that stuff ahead of time. That they're going to try and focus on whatever 4060s or whatever. Was Alexa, stop listening if that's you? But anyways, that's I think it's a we'll see thing. I just don't think that Microsoft, Sony, why would they let that scare them? So wanted to add that into the whole Xbox stuff. But yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it'd be interesting to see what they do going forward. But like I said, I don't think we have to worry too much. No, I don't think this is the end of Xbox or anything. I'm sure they took it serious.
Yeah.
I
always get negative mail. I know I get negative. They're not making a fucking next Xbox and they're fucking dead. But yeah, who knows? So, could be wrong. Moving on to some PlayStation stuff here. And there's an article here. It talks about them shutting down one of its studios. And let's see. Layoffs in the gaming industry, especially in the last several years, remain a sordid matter, but there's something about certain studios closing that just hurts. I'm talking about the closure of, Monolith or whatever. Did I get the wrong freaking article? I thought I did. Okay, no. Moving forward here, the same Bluepoint Games that developed Demon Souls Remake, a top-tier PS5 exclusive, and one of the very best launch titles across the generation. In a recent statement to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, the studio will shut down in March after a recent business review by Sony. About 70 employees will lose their jobs. But hey, the company thanks them for their passion, creativity, and craftsmanship. A stream of explicitives wouldn't be enough to express my annoyance at this, but amidst it all, and several thousand of other fans can only ask one thing: why? Well, PlayStation Studio CEO Herman Hulse has the answer. Allegedly, of course, in a message shared with staff and reported by Kotaku, while praising the studio's various successes, he said, at the same time, we are operating at an increasingly challenging industry environment. Rising development costs, slowed industry growth, changing player behavior, and broader economic headwinds are made harder to build games sustainably. To navigate this reality, we need to continue adapting and evolving. We've taken a close look at our businesses to ensure we're delivering today, while still well positioned for a future. As a result, we will be closing Bluepoint Games in March. The decision was not made lightly. Bluepoint is an incredibly talented team, and the technical expertise has delivered exceptional experiences for the PlayStation community. I want to thank everybody at Bluepoint for their creativity, craftsmanship, and commitment to quality. We will find opportunities for some impacted employees with our global network of studios. Let's see here. I'm just going to read on here. Remember last year when Sony canceled several live service projects and even shut down SIE London studio? Ben's studio next title was in the bin. But so was Bluepoint, which was the first time we've ever heard about the new project. That too, based on unlikely candidate for the model. In that, Sony had the developer on after acquiring in 2021. We were all probably saying at the same time, likely with the same level of shock. Yeah, I remember when they acquired them, because I was listening to what is called more I always call him Colin Mortality, Moriarty's podcast. But anyway, so then they, that was pretty in depth with Bluepoint and their remakes and remasters and stuff. So, interesting, because I always, I'll say this, like, I know that the Sony corporate heads or whatever, they're looking at fucking spreadsheets, right? They're looking at those numbers and, how much a studio produces and how much that revenue takes in. And obviously, it's not doing it, man. It's not cutting it. So I don't agree with it, but I always feel like, man, like I always thought remasters, the whole point behind it, right, was to cash in, right? Don't you think? Especially with a remaster, not so much a remake.
Yeah, I think so. try to get some of that nostalgia back, I guess, from people too, just to cash, like you said, cash in, get people to buy it because they like the game so well.
Yeah.
And just, play it again because they liked it before. They're like, oh, I know this game and it's a good game. So try to get somebody to buy it that way.
Yeah. I mean, we can all sit and complain, oh man, it's the fucking year of remasters or whatever, but I do like remasters, man. I do. Well, I'm not going to buy every one of them. I'll definitely buy I think finally, just kind of interjecting this with Resident Evil. I think Requiem is like, oh, cool that they're not, I guess, remaking another one of their older titles, but yeah, but I think that even those remakes, man, they all look so good, right? Graphically, Resident Evil 4 and 3 and 2, right? So yeah, those are all, but I don't know. Maybe they do that themselves. I don't know. I'm sure they hire other studios, right? From Capcom, right? That's Capcom, right? Resident Evil, so that's different. But yeah, interesting that I don't know how many things that Blue Point did. So I don't know. So I wonder, were they independent before? I just don't have a lot of information on that. So yeah, sorry for the Blue Point guys. I did see that when that came out last week with Blue Point and and them getting shuttered or whatever, or shut down, like and then it was like I saw somebody formerly from Sony who's very outspoken and was like, hey Phil Spencer, hey, like, wow, what do you think, man? We can just kind of take this team over, man, and do some remake stuff. Wink, wink, wink. Yeah, it was like, and as soon as that fucking happened, and like, wasn't even 2 days later that Phil and Sarah were like, we're out, we're gone, bye. So, oh, it's like, yeah, like they didn't respond to it, of course, but it was like, no, like it was more like, Sony, hold our beer, hold our beer. We're just, we got some news for you, but kind of sad, but yeah, that sucks. Let's see here. We've got Tencent. Next article, we got Tencent shuts down studio backing Assassin's Creed Black Flag and the Valhalla creative director. So I thought we had heard of this before, but I'm just going to read on to it. So Tencent has shut down TIMI Montreal, the studio employing former Assassin's Creed creative director Ashraf Ismail. Yeah, we'll just call him Ashraf. So Ismail joined the studio after its high-profile exit from Ubisoft following an internal investigation into misconduct in 2020. He served as creative director of Assassin's Creed's most recent blockbuster out of its Montreal hub, including Black Flag, Origins, and Valhalla. The 5-year-old TIMI Montreal, which is part of a bigger multinational TIMI studio group, has not released any games in that time, but has been planning to create AAA open-world multi-platform games. The wider TIMI Group, I'm just going to call it the TIMI Group, publishes a number of mobile games, including Call of Duty Mobile, which I thought I read last week. We didn't read it on the show, but I thought that something was getting shut down. I don't know if it was the Call of Duty Mobile or the Warzone. I'd have to look more into it with the mobile games, Call of Duty Mobile. So, yeah. So, oh yes. Okay, so yeah. I'm just going to start over here. The wider TMI Group publishes a number of mobile games, including Call of Duty Mobile, not to be confused with Call of Duty Mobile Warzone Mobile, which I played that one. It's not the best. Though that one shut down in April. I think the Warzone Mobile, that was shut down a week ago. Or is getting shut down, as well as a shooter Delta Force. GameFile says sources have warned that a shutdown was imminent, but the news was confirmed when a senior gameplay programmer wrote in a note, deleted private LinkedIn message, then that though the team has not been aware this was coming for some time. It doesn't make the reality any easier. Responding to the message, a designer also affected by the closure wrote, "The team was exceptional, not just in talent, but also camaraderie. It's one of those experiences that stick with you for a very long time, and I feel privileged to have been a part of it." Let's see here. There's been no formal word from Tencent or Timmy itself, but the latter's job site is currently only recruiting for roles based in China. Coincidentally, Timmy's studio group is the same company believed to be the lead financial backer of the high developer Wildlight Entertainment. So, and I think we missed that one, Mayo. We were not recording for 2 weeks, so that was shut down. It was High Guard. I think it was that was that whatever. I don't know if it was a MOBA or just some kind of live service game. So, but yeah, Mayo. I always got to bring this up, but it just blows my fucking mind that we see Microsoft with their layoffs, or they're closing. They closed down that Japanese studio. What the hell did they make? It was a nice little fucking indie game. Yeah, like all these different things, but shit, what was that made the fucking State of Decay 2? Undead Labs, I think is the name, but they're still around. Yeah. Like they haven't made a game in like 7 years. It just blows my mind,
They gotta be working on something, right?
Okay. So if I put it up, I know that they came out with so they announced a game. It came out on Game Pass. It was garbage or whatever. I didn't even fucking play it. I don't even think I watched it on Twitch for like maybe a couple days, like, an hour here, hour there. And I was like, this does not look fun at all. And then it was like, yeah, we're kind of canning this or whatever. Like this game sucks or I don't know. So I never even played it, like never got a chance to play it. So then that was crap. And then, but in the meantime, of course, they were already talking about, of course, we're making a State of Decay 3, and they came out with a trailer and showed it at an E3 like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. And I don't know, nothing, like I think last year they said, of course, we're still making it, but yeah, I haven't seen shit from it. So I don't know, man. It just, it just blows my mind that, they must be just selling like State of Decay 2 fucking physical copies or something. You know what I mean? Like it must just be this hottest game ever. Great game, but it's like, I can't believe they've stayed afloat for this long. Blows my mind. So, and at the same time, it's frustrating because I really like that. Really wanted a fucking State of Decay 3. So I don't know. Do you think we'll ever get it? Like,
I thought they were making something, weren't they? Wasn't reported at one point in time that they were making another game
besides a State of Decay? Well, let's see. That is. Let me just double check here.
No, I thought they were making another State of Decay game.
Yeah, that's what they fucking announced 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What they got. So I'm just trying to find out what that other game was called. So, I mean, he had State of Decay 1 and 2. Let's see what they say on... Yeah, it doesn't list their other game on here, so... I don't know, it says State of Decay 3 on Steam. What does it say over here? Well, it just says to be announced, of course. So, there's a trailer for it. That's about it. Yeah. But I don't know I don't even see it over here on their freaking website, whatever that other live service game was. So see if I can pull it up. Let's see here. No, nothing. Just State of Decay 1 and 2. It's really, I swear there was something in there a couple years ago that they had, but I don't see it on here anymore. They're still around. Oh man. Yeah, that would suck though, Mayo. I would be pissed though if like, come E3 or whatever, like, oh, we closed Undead Labs. I know they were really close to making the game. Like, Yeah, that would just take me off. Anyway, next article, rant over. I digress on that one. Saints Row is dead, says the designing director after a prequel quit pitch. And they were ghosted by the Embracer Group. So it sounds like the Saints Row series isn't doing too hot right now. Did you play the last one, Mayo? I don't know what the hell it was called, but I know I've seen it super cheap on Steam and consoles. But yeah, like 10, $20 or whatever. But
yeah,
I know since it didn't. Yeah, not that great. Chris Stockman, design director of the first game in the franchise, certainly seems to think it's the end of the road for the franchise. A few months ago, Stockholm shared with the Saints Row Reddit that he was asked to propose a pitch for a reboot of the series. Sadly, it seems that it hasn't gone anywhere. An ex-user shared an update taken from the Saints Row report, and it seems Embracer Group, which holds the rights to the IP, isn't showing any interest. I think the franchise is dead. Unfortunately, Stockholm says, I get the sense that Embracer has zero ability to do anything with it. I wish things were different. He goes on to say that he's tried his best after a path forward, but that the company has ghosted him on a pitch, which was for a prequel to the original. The Saints Row series has had some big hits and misses. Many will remember the original trilogy for the example. The most recent game simply named Saints Row. So yeah, that's whatever this last one. I didn't check it, and I think there was another one before that, Mayo, which was even worse. So it didn't. Yeah, I did play a little bit of that. It certainly doesn't seem like the future of the franchise is uncertain. So yeah, it says here, would you like to see more Saints Row? Would you be interested in Stockholm's prequel idea? Okay, that was just something else. But yeah, I don't know. I think just take a break on that one. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe like 4 years, I'd say. So the last two were kind of duds, but either way, I really like Saints Row 2 and 3. They were so good.
Yeah, I can't remember which one I played. I want to say it was probably 2, but I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Let's see. Let's go over all of them. Let's see. So they got the original from 2022. I might have a little bit of that one. Like the graphics were just not quite there, in my opinion. Even on a 360. The what?
You said when? When was it out?
Let's see here. Oh wait, maybe no. Gosh, it was well before that. I don't have like a timeline here because I mean, shoot, I'm looking. Okay, so the original, it looks like 2006. That's probably why the graphics were not. Yeah, I did not like much of the gameplay, or it didn't appease me. So, yeah, it's 2006, and then Saints Row 2 was 2008, and that was really good. I really like that one. And of course, the third. There is a title, Mayo, that came out. It was only like $10 or $15. It was called Saints Row Gat Out of Hell. I recommend that. Like, you're just kind of flying around as this fucking gangster demon or whatever, and shooting fucking gargoyles and bats and shit. And yeah, it's cool.
Huh. So, never heard of it, I don't think. Yeah,
that was good. Okay, there's something here from 2016 called Saints Row Undercover. I think that was, I don't know. I don't remember playing the game, so yeah, I don't remember Saints Row Undercover. Yeah. But either way, yeah, I think the one from 2022 was that that was the one simply named. Yeah, just simply Saints Row. So I don't know. Who knows, right? If it comes to Game Pass, I probably would have tried it, But either way. Moving on, one of our final articles here. We've got let's see. Amazon expected this co-op game to draw 100,000 plus active players but it hit an all-time peak of just 320 on Steam. And now it's closed for good, just 6 months after it launched. Let's see, what the hell is this? Okay, it announced today that the King of Meat, right? That's what she said. One of the most disastrous outcomes of its ill-fated effort to be a big-time PC game publisher is officially throwing in the towel and going away for good in April. Despite the creativity and innovation Glowmade brought to King of Meat, the game has unfortunately not found an audience we hoped for. Amazon wrote on Steam, as a result, we have made the difficult decision to conclude our investment in the game, and King of Meat servers will close on April 9th, 2026. So you don't have much time. People get in and play the King of Meat. Players will be able to access and play all existing content until then. So we encourage you to enjoy your remaining time in your game with your fellow contenders. Ever heard of this one, Mayo? Like this King of Meat game? Yeah, it seems like the Amazon is not doing too good with games. It seems like everything just gets shut down. So I don't know. Yeah, they there's like one other live service game, I guess, that's still going good, and I heard that they sold that off to fucking Netflix or something. So seems like they want nothing to do with video games as it is, but fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here. I don't see anything today, but yeah. See what we got here. Yeah. Nothing else that I see.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much else. Just the big news we're talking about, like in the Discord, was the whole, Xbox thing was kind of the big news for the week.
What we have, guys. That's all we have. Everything else looks like just more bad news, right? Just more, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I might have found something in here, man. Let's see. What is this? Midsummer Studios founder and former Firaxis creative director Jake Solomon has announced the abrupt closure of Midsummer through a post on X. Solomon also shared a 2-minute gameplay video of his life sim, Burbank, the first public showcase of a Plan Sims competitor. We reached out to Solomon for comment and update to the story, and we're going to hear back on it. We built a studio and we made a game, and I'm really proud of both, wrote Solomon. Before we close the doors on Midsummer Studio, I'd like to share a glimpse of Burbank, the game we poured our hearts into. It's the life of Sims, plus the Truman Show. But it's more than that. I believe people are storytellers and want them to share whatever stories and characters they can dream up. Burbank lets you do that. So, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, man. Burbank. That was the name of the game? Or was it Midsummer? Oh, Midsummer Studios. Okay. The game was called Burbank. Okay, I remember doing an article on that, man, but a while back. There's going to be like a Sims competitor. I don't know. I don't think you can really compete with Sims, man.
And that one's been around for a minute.
Yeah. I still see people playing that fucking game. So
I know, right?
Yeah, like I was like, what the hell? That game's still. Yeah, like I'll see a streamer or whatever. They could be, somewhat popular. It'd be like there's like 8,000 people watching. Yeah, interesting. Still a thing. But that's really all we have. So that's all we have for. I'm gonna go eat some In-N-Out, Mayo, and
there you go.
Viva la Mexico. Hopefully everything's good going on in Mexico and terrible things. And one of the El Cartel members got killed yesterday. So, or was it Saturday? So, but everybody stays safe in Mexico, amigos.
I haven't followed any of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know I just saw like alerts and, kind of stay away and stay sheltered in place. And you never know what to believe, Mayo, as far as like, what people are posting with AI videos. So it's hard to really even decipher, but
Right.
it is, if it's as bad as they're showing, then yeah, I say stay safe down there, people. Don't go walking on the streets with cartel out there trying to set fucking gas stations and grocery stores on fire. So yeah, stay sheltered in, people. Anyway, that's all we have, guys. Mayo, let's go play some more Path of Exile 2.
There you go.
Go find me, guys. Gunny Chief over on Steam and HGP _Gunny over on the PlayStation. Yeah, I need some new. Get me some new headphones, Mayo, for the PlayStation. I need those.
There you go. To send you some, right? I'll find you some.
And go find Jesus. Jesus walks a lot. He's on everything. I don't know. Maybe he'll. You know what? I think maybe he'll be home playing Battlefield. And yeah, whatever other, you'll see him on Steam more this week. So
yeah, for sure.
Where do we find you, Mayo?
Find me on Discord mainly, because I've been kind of bounced around on what I've been playing on. So just come find me on Discord. There's the Mayo.
All right, guys. We're out. Till the next show, guys. Peace out, Brussels sprouts. See ya.